How do I usually start these videos? This is so awkward. All right. Okay. Camera's here. I'm just popcorn. Stop. You're making me nervous. All right. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Ariana from Where Black Sheep Meet, and today we're doing a very, very special Flosstube. This is Flosstube number 15, and we are actually doing this live on stream. Chad is actually watching me, and it's extremely awkward. So it has been 3 months since I have last done an update. There's a ton of things that have been going on. If I really was to go back and look at what has happened, I cannot tell you because my brain is extremely short-term memoried these days as we get older. So I can't think of anything that was really stand out-ish that would really matter at this point. Lots coming up, but I'll talk about that later. Yes, this is my new fish tank. This is my new fish tank. All of my fish from downstairs are now in there now with my snails. I swear I almost lost one of my snails for like 4 days. And I was like, where did he go? Please don't tell me he died. Please don't tell me he went into the filter and died. And sure enough, like 2 days later, I found him like crawling around. And I was like, oh, thank God. So now I see them both. But for a minute, I thought one of them died and got lost. I really did. I was really sad. Because I did not see him for 4 days. I did not see him for 4 days. I was going to say, I don't remember there being a fish tank. Yeah, it's new. We just put it in last month. So I have 8 new fish in there. It can still go for about 4 more fish, my friend said. About 4 or 5 more fish around the same size. Yeah, you can see him swimming. But yeah, I have 8 new fish in there. There's some guppies and some mollies. And then my glowfish. And then the 2 snails. I do want to get another bottom feeder though. But I do have new fish. I have a beautiful tank. Some friends were giving it away. Or not giving it away, but they were selling it. And so Volchi, my husband, was like, hey, my wife loves fish. I'll take it. And so he came over the end of July and he helped set it up. And fill everything. And he gave me the driftwood pieces and some of the plants and the rocks at the bottom. So I've added a few more plants and some sparkly rocks. And then I had that like T-Rex skull. I've had that sitting in my fish decor collection. So I was like, oh, cool. I think I only used it once. So I stuck that in there. It kind of fit perfectly compared to all the other decorations I had. But I love it. I love listening to it. I love seeing them like swim around like behind me now. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Otherwise, I do have my little book blurb. I have read a couple books. Nothing I'm exactly wild about per se. A lot of it was very contemporary romance. So I did read The X-Hex by Aaron Sterling. It was all right. Had the witchy vibes that I really enjoyed, but romance kind of lacked, but that goes for contemporary romance. 10 Blind Dates, I did really enjoy that. I liked the perspective with all the dates. That was by Ashley Elston. I read Instant Karma by Marissa Mayer. The main character was a little too, what's the word? Entitled. She was extremely entitled, and it was extremely annoying to hear her part of the story, and there was like no redeeming factor. The story itself probably would have been really good as long as the main character was not in it, but it was okay. And then the other one I read was a very smutty book. It was extremely smutty, A Lady of Rixgrave Manor, and that was by Catherine Moon. It was basically about a girl living in a mansion with a bunch of monsters, and it's smut. So you can let your imagination run wild. There are a few books that I'm halfway through reading. I probably will finish them at one point. Some of them are okay. But I guess I'll get to that if I do finish them. But yeah, that's probably the most in books that I have right now. They did finally release Glow, the Plated Prisoner series, my favorite series. They did finally release the 4th book. I just have not read it yet because I want to make sure that I have time to reread the first books first, and then I'll go back and finally get to the new book. But I really want to like dive into it, so I need some time to do that, and I don't have time right now, so that's a future thing that I want to do. Plus, I'm trying to make it last as long as I can because, like I said, it is my favorite series, and they're supposedly coming out with a 5th book. So I'm just gonna wait so that way I don't rush through this next book and there's nothing to replace it, because that's the worst. Otherwise, I think that's about it, and we can pretty much go ahead and get into all of my projects. And I can show you the progress I've had in 3 months. It's not as much as I would have liked. I just have not had the biggest cross-stitching bug in the last couple months, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I did get a little bit on all of them though. Everything has a little bit of progress done. So, I mean, I can't complain too much. Wait, what book was she talking about? A Lady of Rooksgrave Manor. It's by Catherine Moon. It was actually really well done. It was very well done. I super enjoyed it. I just wanted to read smut, and it just threw it in my face, and it was exactly what I wanted. I hadn't read anything like that in a bit, so it was kind of nice to just like dive back into it without having all the fluff in the beginning. Like, it literally was like, ooh, I'm a worker and I'm already peeking in on what's going on in the room, and that's how it starts. It was very well done. It's very well done. It is monsters, so it has like vampires, werewolves, sphinxes. It's got the monsters in there. So if you're into a little fantasy different stuff, it was a really good book. Not too long. I think it was like 300 pages. I'm telling you, it was a perfect like dive in, get wet. That was a perfect analogy. No pun intended. And move on with your life. That's exactly what it was. Exactly what it was. I did have a, what do you call it? There's a name for it. Start and finish. I forget what it's called. A SAF? Is it a SAF? Start and finish? SAF. I think that's what you call it. Anyways, there is a streamer here on Twitch called PickStitch. And I have talked about him before as well. But he was doing, during Pride Month, which was back in June at this point, he had created a Yoshi pattern that he wanted everyone to stitch throughout the month. And by the end of the month, if you completed a Yoshi, you were entered in a giveaway to win an amigurumi Yoshi. So, of course, it got quite a bit of people in the community making Yoshis. It was really cool to see. There was a lot of people. You would see streams and you would see the giant Yoshi cross stitch on there. And he had all the colors. He had all colors. So it was your choice to pick whatever color. And he had 2 designs. So you could pick whatever design you wanted. So I was originally not going to do it. But a few days in, I was enabled, Fireness. I was enabled, and I had just started my stream and decided that I wanted to work on the Yoshi. I already had fabric. I already had most of the floss, so I figure why not? There is a big Stardew Valley map, which is called the Stardew Sal. And that is going very big in the community as well, in the makers and crafters here on Twitch. And so I decided not to do it because at the time that it started, I had not played Stardew Valley at the time. So I didn't want to participate then. So I felt like this was a perfect way for me to finally get, feel like I was included. I finally had my little way to like participate in a sal with everyone. So that's mostly my main motivator as well. But I did finish my little Yoshi. I decided to do pink because I gotta hold it on the side. I decided to do pink because that was most of the colors that I did have already in my stash. I just had to go buy 2 skeins of pink, but everything else I had. The fabric was actually a larger piece of 28 count Monaco as well that I had ice dyed. So I was like, well, this is perfect. Pink would look perfect on green. I think I sat for like 20 minutes trying to decide on a fabric from one in my stash, and the green with the pink worked out pretty perfectly. I'm really happy with the green, actually. So yeah, so I did spend, I think I wrote it down. I did not write down when I started it. I know it was at the beginning of June, probably around the 5th. I did finish it toward the end of June, I think around the 28th, 27th. But when I finally sat down to like really work on it, it did take me about 2 weeks. I do know that. It did take me about 2 weeks working on it a little bit here and there. But in total, this was 4,053 stitches to complete. So it wasn't too big. This is actually the same size pretty much as my female Capricorn piece. That's actually pretty accurate, or pretty comparable of how many stitches each one has. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. It was quick. It was quick to stitch up. It's an adorable piece. I kind of feel like he was like sleeping in like after a night partying, and he's just like, oh God, I gotta go start the day. So that's why I picked this one compared to the other one, who looks kind of confused, but both of them were adorable. And it was really cool to see everybody do the different colors. Everybody tried to do at least one Yoshi or each Yoshi in every color. But it was a lot of fun. So this was a SAF. I'm going to frame it. I'll probably give this to my oldest as well. Like I said, she's very into Yoshi. I did almost run out of room now that I just realized. I did almost run out of room. It barely made it on there. Barely. I was getting really nervous. I did not win the giveaway. I should state I did not win the giveaway, but that's all right. I was just really happy to participate more than anything else, like I said, because I wasn't doing the Star Duo. So I was happy to join in on this one. So that is probably my only cross-stitch finish in the last couple of months. So I did at least have one finish to show for all that time that I have not been updating. Of course, we're going to start with my very first cross-stitch project ever. It's funny because here on Twitch, a lot of people start cross-stitch here or work on cross-stitch projects that are much on the smaller side. And then I'm over here saying I very much the go big or go home because I started with the hate. So here we go. Here we go. My first ever cross-stitch project. I think this is a year and a half now. A year old? 2 years old? This isn't 2 years old, is it? 2020? 2021? This is 2 years old. This is 2 years old. It just hit its birthday. I started at the end of July. So this is Celestine by Margaret Morales. What was I saying? It's a hate. It's a hate. And my watch just got stuck. This is 2 years old. I started this at the end of July. I never wrote down the date because I didn't think it was important, but I think it was July 25th. I think that's what it was. This is 2 years old. This is a 2-year-old project. I honestly have not touched it that much in the last year, which is kind of sad because I absolutely love this project. I forgot to add this here. There we go. Now you guys can see what it is, and I don't have to edit that in later. But yeah, I'm kind of sad I didn't get more work done on it this year, but I mean, I have a whole life, right? I have a whole life. I did get some progress on this. We did do I didn't even say that. I did do what we call now a whip sprint, which is what Rachel Ray came up with. It was her idea, and basically for 25 minutes you work on all your whips. And you do it all at once. And it kind of works out here on Twitch for streaming, because then you hang out with chat, and every 25 minutes you switch out your project and start a new one. You can probably do it for 24 hours of cross stitch, depending how many projects you have. But it was really fun. It was a really great idea. I really wanted to do it. So we did do that back in May, the end of May, because she was doing a May extravaganza sort of thing, instead of the Mania where you start 22 new projects because it's the year 2022. She didn't want to do that. So this was her way of celebrating that month. I thought it was an amazing idea. So all of my projects did get worked on that day. And then I did have a few extra days for each one. But so essentially all of them had some work on it. But like I said, not as much as I would love to. I'm still filling in her face. You can see her eye. You can see her eye there. It is more color blocking right now, and so that's not too bad. Maybe that's why I'm bored, because it's actually color blocked instead of all the outrageous confetti. I'm not sure what it is, or it's the light colors that I'm not really too crazy about doing right now. I definitely need to set time to do this though. So I worked on this for 4 days in the last 3 months. The last 3 months I did 4 days. I did a total of 966 stitches, which puts me at 43,888 stitches out of 154,000. And I'm at 28.5%. It's really, she's really not that big. If I consistently worked on her, see, there's the bottom there. This is the bottom with all the stitches, or the little threads. If I consistently worked on her, I'd probably be about halfway or farther. I'm just so sad. I'm so sad I don't do that. But that's Celestine. She's my first. So she's a little, you could tell that I was beginning cross stitch in the start of it, but toward the end it got better. You can tell my what is it? Not my progress, but my I hate words. I hate words. What am I thinking of? My, you know when you get better? What's the thing where you get better? Improvements. Thank you. Oh my God. See, this is so hard to do. This is how I am when I go to edit my videos. These are the type of moments that I edit out of the video. Oh, I didn't even say. She is on a 25 count linen, and I'm doing 4/1 10 stitch because I switched from the 2/1 full cross because that was just taking so much longer. So 10 stitch. Once I started 10 stitch, I really enjoyed it, so I switched over to that. It looks exactly the same. You could never tell. You could never tell I started full cross and went to 10. Oops. I love Margaret Morales. She is one of my absolute favorite artists. It's like her and Tim Burton. So it's like I have the like gothy, like dark child creepy vibes, and then over here I have like the feminine, like soft and colorful vibes. Those are my two sides. I think that's my personality in general, though. That's my personality in general. So project number 2 is Persephone. It is another Heaven and Earth Designs. Yes, I started 2 Hades back to back. This one is by Alexandra V. Bach. And there's the picture. Got it. But... oh, you know what? I didn't even say like, oh, here it is. Here it was last time you saw it. I forgot to do that on the first one. I'm sure I'll edit that in. Here is where it looked the last time you saw it. I think I have my old progress pictures somewhere. But here we are now. Here we are now. Still struggling. Still struggling on finishing the first row. I think I still have 2.5 pages. Well, 2 and maybe like 3/8. No, that's too small. 5/8? 5/8? There you go, 5/8. 2 and 5/8 of a page. Should go this way. There we go. You can go this way, this way. There we go. my God, I haven't done this in forever. Okay. I have not finished this page. I've been on this page forever. Again, I wish I had more progress on this. I probably would be almost done with the second row at this point if I kept to my schedule of 1 page a month that I was doing. But again, it's just, I'm not vibing right now, but it's okay. I'm sure I'm going to pick this up at some point and I'm going to go ham on it. This is on a 25 count easy grid, 2/110 stitch. Yeah, that's all I really need to say about it. It's a big piece of fabric. I've shown it a million times. So this is a big project. This is probably my biggest project for sure. I did work on this for 4 days. I did 879 stitches in the last 3 months. That puts me at 47,126 and I'm at 12.51%. 12.51%. Yeah, this is a biggin. This is a biggin. It's a BAP. Sorry, it's a BAP. But I think I started working on it and I didn't even finish. Why do I have 2 threads here? But yeah, same. I think at this point, I just have to be in the mood. This one's nice because it's kind of color blacked where these clouds are. So it kind of goes quick, like doing the little sections. And the details are looking better. I'm not sure though. His hair doesn't look like hair too much yet. I can see it because of the picture. But if you were not to know like what this was, you would not think that's hair. You would not think that's hair. But it looks really cool. The clouds look really nice. I'm really impressed with the clouds. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I gotta set my goals again, I think. I think that's what I gotta do is set my goals. Like, okay, I'm gonna work on this for 2 days, this for 2 days, this for 2 days. I think that's what, maybe that'll help. We'll see. We'll see. The artwork reminds me of Rysand and Feyre from Court of Mist and Fury. This is actually Hades and Persephone. So it's not actually too far off. That's a very good comparison. All right. So the next project on the list is going to be Windrunner. It's a pattern by Thread Geeks. And the artist is Kendra Gloomblade. Kendra Gloomblade. And this is what it looked like. Oh my God. And this is what it looked like last time that you saw it. Oh my God. I haven't done this in forever. And here we are now. I've actually been working on this one more recently. I've been doing a lot of the black because it's actually kind of fun doing the black with the little confetti spots and then you see the little outline coming through. I've actually been really enjoying that. So I've been working on this the last couple days. She's still not close to being done with how small she is. The white on white is a freaking killer. I have a little piece of white. Let's see if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little bit of white there that I started doing. Oh no, it's down here. My camera's not going to focus, but there's a little bit of white down here. And I stopped because I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see it, and I was getting really frustrated. So I said, no, let me just go back to the black. I'm going to finish filling in the black for this page, and then I'll start filling in from there. I think I'm going to have to do some of the lighter blues first, because right now I'm working in all her skin. Is it skin? No, it's not. It's like she's got horns here. And she has her shoulder gauntlet pad thing. Is that what you call it? Her shoulder thing. Her shoulder pads. Shoulder pads. So it looks like quite a bit of dark colors, but there still is quite a bit of like white. There's a lot of off-white. There's a lot of very, very light blue. So it's really hard to see on the white fabric, and it's really frustrating. So I'm going to stick with the black for now until I fill in all the black. And hopefully that'll help. That'll help figure out where everything is. But I did... Oh, this one is on a 28 count. It is 2/110 stitch. I worked on this for 6 days. Probably one of my most worked on project, or one of them I should say. It's one of my most worked on projects. I did 1,374 stitches in the last 3 months. That puts me at 19,192, and I'm at 35.9% complete. Yeah, same. I'm gonna try and just fill the black in next month. I think that's, I know I'm doing plans right now, and that's usually something I do at the end, but I can already tell you, I think I'm doing black. I think I'm doing all the black. That's my goal this month. Finish the black. But she's so pretty. Look how cute she is. I do this every video, I swear. But this is like, you can't even tell. Is that a cross stitch? No, it's a painted picture. Like, you can't even tell. I love it. So that is Windrunner. I know I'm kind of flying through these a little bit, but I just don't remember much from working on these. I kind of barely even wrote down my progress. There, at some point I kept forgetting to write down the progress, so half of the progress I had to like remember. But yeah, I know once I edit this down, I'm gonna be missing it's gonna be a lot shorter, I think, just because I don't remember half the things I did. Next on the list is going to be a new normal, and here's where it was last time that you saw it. New normal is a long dog sampler, and it's my first one, but it's basically a depiction of the pandemic. It came out during the pandemic, when the pandemic first started. So that a lot of the images are a story about it, essentially. But I thought it was just extremely whimsical, so that's why I chose this long dog sampler over all the other ones. But this is what it looks like here, in case you were wondering. All right, let me see, where am I? All right, so here we are with new normal. I don't remember where I was at. I know I was working on the bubble, this bubble. I just don't know if I started the whole bubble or if I already had some done. I might have already had some completed, but this is where I am so far anyways. I actually think about working on this one all the time, to be honest. I'm always thinking like, I want to go work on new normal. I want to work on new normal, but then I have something else already set up, so I end up working on something else. But this one is basically inspired, the colors, I should say, inspired, of course, by a World of Warcraft fan art. Do I have it here? No, I don't. That was not it. This one. There we go. It was inspired by a World of Warcraft fan art that I had found online, because I saw her hair and it matched perfectly with my variegated floss here that I already had, that didn't work out on the black fabric I was trying to use because you couldn't see anything. It just blended too much. So when I saw this, I thought it had the exact same colors, and the way it fit with all those like fall vibes was really interesting to me. So I hand dyed the fabric. It's actually a little more peachy colored than it is showing on the screen right now. But this is where the inspiration comes from, essentially. And that's why I have all these different like colors going on, in case you were wondering like what made you think of that color combo. That's why. But yeah, you can see them more over here. There's about 8 different colors. 8 different colors. So like I said, this was a restart because the first color scheme didn't work out. But I'm so much happier with this. I look at this and it really makes me happy. It really makes me happy. Like I said, I think about working on it all the time, so I just need to pick it up and do it. But this one is on an 18 count Ada, and I worked on this one for 3 days. 3 days and 3 months? That's sad. Especially with how much I think about it. That's kind of sad. I think about it a lot, so I'm really shocked that it was all that I worked on it with. I did do 1,087 stitches, which puts me at 4,886 stitches, and I'm at 12.83%. 83%. So I'm gonna have to pull this out more often. I really am. I don't think it's not that big. It's really not. This is more fabric than it really is. I think it stops right here. So it's not even like super huge either. A lot of people are working on this. I know Rachel Ray is working on this. Who else have I seen? There's a few people. I haven't watched Flosstube in a hot minute, so I know there's a few that I'm forgetting. But there are quite a few people working on this one. I love seeing all the different variations of it. And people starting on the different sides and stuff. So I'll work on it more, I think, this month. I think this might be my most worked on project this month. I think that's what I need to do, is just pick this one up and work on it when I want to work on it. And maybe that will get me excited to stitch again. Maybe that's what I'm doing. I'm blocking myself. Next on the list is a project that isn't even mine. Doesn't even belong to me. This is being made for a friend. I attempted. I probably will never make another project again for a friend because I hate to make them wait this long. Actually, I've done it to a few friends now. I think they know who they are. But this one especially is going to take me the most time ever to ever finish and complete. But this one is Halloween Mickey. It is from Etsy. It's a pattern that my friend had picked out, so it wasn't something I personally wanted to do. It was something that they were looking for to hang up in their office. So I definitely love the Disneyland vibes. I'm a big Disney lover. And so I was like, all right, I'll do it. But here's where it was last time that you saw it. It's so weird saying that when people are watching me and nothing pops up. There we go. That's what it looks like there. And on this one, I'm actually working in a different direction. This is probably the only project. Let me fold this in half the other way. This is probably the only project I'm working this direction in that's a large piece. I actually reached the bottom. I actually have reached the bottom. So that's as wide as it will be. What did I work on this? I believe I filled in these eyes and I filled in these colors here in Goofy's hand and a little bit in the blue over here. I really didn't do much. I filled in this little blue part right here. It really wasn't much that I did. It really wasn't much, but you can see like, this thing has so much detail, but I hate it because it's so confetti heavy. This is probably the most confetti heavy project I've ever done. Definitely the most confetti heavy. But you can see the details, so it's worth it. It's worth it. Very, very cool though. So not a lot of work. Not a lot of work. I think I started this. When did I start this? Oh, I started this last year. October, September, I don't remember. It's been a hot minute, I'll tell you that much. And this is as far as I've gotten. The black went really fast, but those colors be slowing me down, yo. Those colors slowing me down. This is gonna be a cool piece when it's done. I just, it's gotta get done one day. He knows it's gonna take a long time, so, I told him before I start, I was like, it's gonna take me a while, yo. It's gonna take me a while, so don't be surprised if you don't have this in the next 10 years. It's like, I understand, it's cool. This is on a 25 count easy grid. It's 2 over 1/10 stitch. I did work on this for 3 days. That's all I did in 3 days. That's all I did in 3 days. I did 642 stitches, probably the smallest stitch count out of all my projects in the last 3 months. But that's how much confetti is in it, so it makes sense, right? It makes sense. So I have about 13,253 stitches completed, and I'm at 10.1%. Not bad for 10%, actually. That's kind of a bit. That's kind of a lot. Not too bad. Not too bad. So yeah, so that's Halloween Mickey. I love looking at it. You see, I'm just staring at it. I love looking at it, but I don't know. See, I didn't even finish the color. I just kind of left it hanging. I was like, we'll get back to it. Oh, because I was doing this on the whip sprint. So I didn't even bother putting the colors back. I was like, I'll go back to this later. That's why a lot of these have the threads hanging off this time, is because I meant to go back to them. But that's Halloween Mickey. Big patterns like this look very convoluted, and with my ADHD will never get done. Yeah, it just depends, you know, like some people enjoy it and some people just cannot. Some people just cannot. Definitely this is a craft, like do what you like to do. Do what feels good to you. Personally, I like the big projects because I'm very much like I like to see the progress, and I like to make like end goals for something that I work hard on. So like these big projects, like they make me happy. But like I said, if anything right now, it's just I'm just lost the stitch bugs. And it happens. It'll come back. Like the diamond painting, like I was on diamond painting for such a long hot minute, and then I just didn't pick it up for like 6 months. I didn't touch it. And then I started picking it up again, and I was like going at it. So I just go with my mood. I just go with my mood. I did notice though, if I only had one project to work on at a time, I was definitely less motivated than when I do have more than one project. Because sometimes I'm not feeling one cross stitch. Sometimes I'm not feeling the big one. Sometimes I'm not feeling the smaller one. Sometimes I want something with confetti. Sometimes I want something color black. So it kind of helps to have like this handful of projects for me. Just to help me with that. It gives me the motivation. It gives me the motivation. My whip list though has really gone down. I've been doing really good like getting projects done and not getting too overwhelmed. This is probably my sweet spot as far as like how many projects I want. The next project on the list is Pile of Yoshis, and this is a pattern that I found on Etsy. It was for Dinosaur December. That was started by Emily X Stitch and somebody else that I always forget who. Back in December last year, and I didn't start till January, and we're still going on it. So I don't remember where I was going with that sentence. But here is where you saw it last time. I tried to get some work done on this. I feel like this one's sitting out the most, more than any of my projects, and I don't know why. There's a picture. But I feel like this one is always on a Q-snap for me. Case in point, this one's always on a Q-snap for me. I'm always pulling it out and working on it. I feel like I don't have much work to show for how much it's in front of me. But this is on an opalescent 18 count Ada. 18 count? 18 count Ada in Raven Black. I got this from an Etsy store. Of course, everything will be linked down below. But I did start to get some work. I feel like it's starting to fill out because I know I had a lot of the black and green done for the longest. And then I felt like I just kept like filling in the little spots for forever. And now I feel like I'm finally getting some more done on it with the yellow Yoshi coming in. Yeah, and like I said, just not as much work as I would think, considering it's always ready to be worked on. It's always ready to be worked on. This one I did work on for 5 days. Still high up on like my progress list. 5 days out of 3 months. It still sounds so bad. I did 1,069 stitches. Sorry, I shouldn't say that on YouTube. I did 1,069 stitches. 1,069 stitches, and I'm at 3,979 stitches, and that puts me at 23.98% complete. I thought this wasn't, I didn't think this was going to be as big as it is. Not size-wise, I just mean, not size-wise, I just mean that I feel like I would have had way more progress done on it by now, and I'm still here. I just feel like I would have had a lot more progress done on it by now. I don't know, maybe the Yoshis are bigger than I expected with the amount of stitches in each one, or just the amount of color changes that are in each one. Maybe that's what it is. But this one's absolutely adorable. The way it's charted is exactly how it's coming out in the stitch, and that's pretty freaking cool. Especially with this part right here blows me away. The shading on his nose, that part blows me away every time. Because it really is like a perfect shade, except for this little brown spot. It's a little darker right here, but it's not that big a deal. Same thing with his nose. Like, the shading is insane. Yeah, this is one of my smaller projects. So I guess I don't mind because it gives me like something smaller to work on. But yeah, we'll see what I can do. I'm gonna aim for that yellow Yoshi to get done. I'm gonna aim for the yellow, at least for him mostly to be filled out. He's almost there. I think I just need his head. His head and a little bit down here on his foot. But yeah, he's almost filled out. So I'm gonna aim to finish my little yellow Yoshi here. But this is Pile of Yoshis. I always get a lot of love for this one. Yoshi's popular, definitely popular. I think that's all I gotta say about this. Just holding it because I like looking at it. But like I said, it's always on a Q-snap, so I should probably leave this one on and work on this one first before I put it away again. It's already ready to go, might as well. The next project on the list is a new start, and this is finally the temp chart that I've been looking for, that I really wanted to fall in love with when I saw it, and that's exactly what happened. I saw this and I needed to make it. It's exactly what I wanted in a temp chart. It was nerdy. It had a lot of color. It was vibrant. I fell in love. This one is, I think the name is called Retro Temperature Chart. Sorry, my voice is all nasty. It is a Space Invader theme. It is from Etsy. I started this on May 15th. So I don't have a before picture. Because it's obviously a new start. But this is going to be my temperature chart once it's done. It looks so good. It looks so much better on this camera. I stitched on this on stream a few times and the colors weren't as vibrant, but now you can really see like how vibrant they really are. I am doing the months in order, so it's January, February, March, April. But this essentially is going to be my first year on Twitch. So essentially I'm starting them in September, on September 2nd. Obviously, if I continue to stitch, I'm going to have an empty center section for a month. If I get that far by the end of August, just because we're in the last month, essentially. And then I will finish down at the bottom. There's still a little piece of the map right here, but otherwise, I'm just doing the little aliens for the most part. I had it in the Q-snap, which is why it's empty over here, but those will eventually fill out the rest of the months at the end. So yeah, like I said, it's a temp chart, so half of each alien is a day. So there's going to be, what is it, January has 31 days, so it's going to be half an alien at the end, but it'll count out just like that. But I'm really loving this. I'm really happy with how it looks. I wasn't sure because Texas temperatures are extremely hot, so I knew it was going to be mostly red, which we're getting into. As you can see, these are hot temps right here. The yellows going into the oranges and the reds. And this last 2 months have been extremely hot, so I'm sure this is going to have way more red here in this middle section. It's been over 100 for 2 months, so it's gonna be a vibe. It's gonna be a vibe. But this is basically on a 14 count black Ada. I did work on this for 10 days. This is my most worked on project. I'm really happy working on this. it's really fun to work on, and it's so easy because the little aliens are like 12 stitches each side, so it stitches up really quick for each day. So I have done 2,360 stitches. This is a 7,744 stitch project, so it's really not that big. It's really not big at all. I can definitely get it done very quickly, which I think will help that I'm really like happy to work on it. Like I said, this is my most worked on project in the last 3 months, just because I'm having so much fun with it. Yeah, I'm excited to see more of the aliens come out, but this is pretty freaking cool. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty freaking cool. This is gonna be really neat to look back on. Like I said, it's for my first year on Twitch, so it's gonna mean a lot. I think just to make special days stand out, I'm going to outline some of the aliens in like a metallic thread, like a back stitch. So like my first day of streaming, so September 2nd, I would outline probably when I hit affiliate, and what else? I'm gonna think about it, but probably my birthday, because that was my first 12-hour stream. So yeah, I think that's my idea, just to make them stand out a little more for like special days, just to highlight those moments. That's the idea. So I'm gonna play with it at the end and see how it looks, but it's pretty freaking cool so far. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm just gonna keep repeating myself if I keep going, so I'm gonna put this down now. But this is really cool. I highly recommend this pattern. Highly recommend. I did have to adjust the colors. There was more colors, a lot of blues and greens, but I felt like it was excessive. So I just adjusted I took some of them out. I basically took some of them out and I adjusted my attempts to my location, what my highs were and what my lows were. And I put the right amount of colors for every 5 degrees, and that worked out perfectly. So you can definitely see there was some really, this very vibrant like fuchsia color was probably the coldest days. And yeah, there's a few purples, those are colder days, and then like I said, I'll go up into the yellows and reds for hotter days. So you can definitely tell like, if you know what you're looking at, I guess you could say. If you know what you're looking at, you can definitely tell what the weather was like. So I think that's the coolest thing ever. But this one gave more personality than any other temp chart that I've seen. So I really I snatched it up, essentially. And the idea came from Yeyitsanna. Go check her out. She's on Twitch. She is doing a crochet poncho with the same idea her first year on Twitch. So go check her out again, because I know I talked about her before. She's watching right now. She better not be embarrassed, but she is here right now. But that's where I basically got the idea from. So I told her I would steal it, and I have, and it's an amazing idea. It's an amazing idea. So yeah, so that is this project. I would love to get this done by September. I don't know if that's reaching. I think it's reaching. I think that's a reaching idea, but I would love to get this done by September. I really would. To have it done by my first Twitch. I mean, obviously, I have to wait till September 2nd to actually put in the last alien for that temp day. But I feel like I can have it completed up to where we're at. Hopefully. We'll see. My last project is going to be another new start, and I've always been looking for a new, I've always been looking for a Zodiac cross stitch. I've seen a lot of Zodiac stuff. I always hate Capricorn. So the fact that I found this one and instantly fell in love, I had to do it. It's a very small piece, so I figure I can add it to my list of whips right now. But I did end up having a friend here on Twitch who was dyeing fabric, and I bought one of his pieces. His name is Corn Muscles. I'll make sure to have his Etsy shop link down below. But I fell in love with this piece, and when it came in, I wanted to put something on it. So when I found this Zodiac piece, I knew this was the fabric that I wanted to use, and it just so happened that this was the exact size with a perfect perfect border all the way around, and it fit it perfectly. So I knew it had to be done. There's no coincidences. It was meant to be. But this is, I just call it female Capricorn. It didn't really have a name. Like I said, it's on Etsy, and so I was just like, well, it's just called Capricorn female something or other. So that's what I'm going to call it. That's what I'm calling it. I ended up, actually, let me just show it. I might as well just show it because I'm talking about it and you're not even seeing what it is. This one is my female Capricorn piece. I actually had chat choose the Etoile floss. The Etoile floss. It was a choice between this blue. There was a black, and there was a very dark grayish brown, and chat chose blue. So I ended up going with blue. I think blue is going to stand out beautifully though. And I decided to add the metallic floss for the little details. I'm not so sure they all stand out, but we'll see when I do a little bit more. But this is the piece of fabric. You can see it's stunning. It's got all the colors on it. How could I not? Like, with such an open background piece, you can see most of the fabric through it. So I thought this is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. So yeah, so this is a new start. It's very small. It's not big at all. It is on this is a 14 count fabric. I didn't even change my, where's my, oh, it's right here. This is on a 14 count, and I started this on July 8th. I did work on this for 5 days. I did 938 stitches out of 4,369, and I'm at 21.47%. So, like I said, it's not big at all. This should be a very quick like stitch up. I work on it a little bit every day. Very much of an outline, so no heavy like color, like no heavy blocks of stitching or anything, which is different. I think this is probably the first piece that doesn't have a ton of blocks of stitching. It's very open, but you can see all the details. This is gonna be stunning. She's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, so this is my last new start. My arm is getting tired. My arm's getting tired. But this is the last new start that I've had in the last couple months. I will have to finish one of these smaller ones before I start anything else. But it's definitely keeping me busy. Like I said, I've been in the mood for these smaller pieces lately too. So it's kind of is nice. It's an easy repeat. It seems like an easy repetitive pattern too. So I'm like, especially this border, it's basically the same thing over and over. So I kind of just zone out when I'm stitching on it. But I'm excited about this one too. This should be really fun. This should be a really fun quick stitch. But that is going to be all of my cross stitch projects. I did give in to one of the paid sales not too long. I think it's been about a month. No, it's been about over 2 months that I bought something from a sale. I did end up buying Lunar Goddess. Of course, it's a Margaret Morales. I really want to start this. I really want to start this. But I need to finish some of my smaller whips and other projects, which I've been doing really good at doing lately. So maybe we'll see. Plus, I still have to buy all the floss. Ooh. Are you stuck? What are you doing? My dog's stuck in my microphone. Yeah, I had to buy all the floss, so I'm gonna wait till there's a big sale on floss to stock up for this one, I think. I also did end up giving in, and I bought the other piece from Unconventional X Stitch called Dark Fairy. This one is by Alex Ruiz. I'm in love with this. I've been in love with this since I first saw it, and I kept putting it off buying it because the pattern was just kind of expensive with no sale, because I was waiting for like some sort of discount, and none was coming. So I finally gave in. My dog's rolling around. I finally gave in and just bought it. So with this, leads me into the next thing. We all remember that I was supposed to start Medusa from Unconventional X Stitch with with Hannah Dowling. See your name, Haley. With Hannah Dowling. She has been putting major big progress on her Medusa cross stitch. It looks beautiful. I decided not to because Diamond Art Club came out with it. It finally restocked, and I bought it because I didn't want it to go out of stock again or get discontinued. This is massive. This is a massive diamond painting. This is 27.6 inches by 40, almost 40 inches. This is insanely, this is probably the biggest cross stitch I've ever, or cross stitch, biggest diamond painting I've ever seen. So this is going to be a mission in itself. Haha, joke's on me. I thought I was going to have an easier time doing a diamond painting rather than cross stitching it, but this is going to take me just as long. This is going to take me just as long. The box is bigger than all the other boxes in my stash. This is bigger than all the other boxes. So, going with this again, that I will start, that leaves me with the fabric and the whole kitted up floss that I had for it. I have not decided what I wanted to do with it until now, because I know a lot of people have asked me if I wanted to rehome this. So what I'm going to do is I've decided for my 1-year Twitch stream anniversary, I will be giving away the fabric. I will give it away. But I am going to keep the floss because I think a lot of the floss might be used for this cross stitch. That's a lot of floss too. That's a lot of floss to give away. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I need the floss. I need the floss. But if you are interested in this fabric, hopefully to do Medusa, because I would love someone to participate with the Medusa Sal, Unconventional Medusa Sal, with Hannah Dowling. I will be giving away this fabric. It is a 28 count Monaco, hand dyed by myself, because I wanted it to look like the background of Medusa, which I'm going to pop a picture of because I forgot to load it into Twitch. But yeah, so I will be giving away this fabric. I will probably take out these stitches just so it's a clean slate for you. There's only 200 stitches there, so it's not a big deal. If you're going to start Medusa, I'm sure you're going to have your own way to stitch. But I will be giving this away. So I'm letting everyone know now the fabric will be a giveaway on my stream. I will do an enter raffle sort of thing, and it will be raffled off. So that's what I've decided. I will keep the floss, like I said, because it is a ton of floss. To remind you, it's a lot of muted browns, purples, grays. There's a color palette. Blues, greens. Yeah, so I gotta keep this. I'm sorry. There's a lot of floss though. This isn't even all the floss I bought to do this. Like, I have a bag of more of each color because I wasn't sure how much it needed, and it wasn't very, there's still more in here. It wasn't very clear on how much I would need, and I'm doing tent as well, so I just cannot part with that, and I will probably need it for the Dark Fairy. but the fabric will be up for grabs. So hopefully I will see you there at some point. Be there, be square. Be there, be square. So that is the gist of my cross stitching for the month, for the last 3 months. The only other things I have would be my crochet. So the first thing I have is here. So I'm going to start with this because I got to go grab the other one. But I have worked a little bit on my shrug. Here we go. I have a stitch marker in. So I did another, what, 6 inches or so. This thing is getting really big now. But I do need about a little over a yard, and I think I'm at 25 inches of this before I can start making the ribbing around the edges to start forming it into a shrug. So this is a slow going progress. I started this last August. It's almost been a year. It's almost been a year. But it's going. I pick it up every now and then, and I put a few rows in, and then I'll put it down. But I'm actually kind of motivated to work on it right now, since this is probably my only other yarn craft now, because I've done quite a few at this point. So I think I'm gonna probably pick this up a lot more, at least to finish the length of the rectangle. It's very close, but I'm so excited to wear this. Maroon is one of my favorite colors to wear. So I'm very excited to have a shrug because I love cardigans. I love cardigans. I want a shrug. I want a shrug. So that is that one. I will have the pattern down below. I forget the name of it now, but it will be down there for you. All right. So to finish off the crochet projects that I've done, I finally finished my crochet socks. I just finished them on stream just the other day. Sorry, I'm trying to take off all the dog hair because I was wearing them around the house. And I do have 2 corgis who shed a ton. So I'm just trying to clean them up quick. But I did finish the socks. I finished the socks. And I wore them all day yesterday. They were so comfortable. I'm going to need to make more. But they're adorable. I did the second one much faster than the first one. Once I got the hang of it, the first one, the second one wasn't too bad. Now that I knew what I was doing, so it did crochet up really fast. Of course, there's always going to be my little misshapes here and there, but I'm actually pretty proud of my first pair of socks. So these are crocheted. I'm interested to learn them in knitting. I don't know if that's going to be harder or not. I know Knitting Nurse, who I've mentioned before, she does a lot of knit socks. And so if I have any questions, I'll probably go to her and ask her because she does a lot of knit socks. But otherwise, I'm really happy with how they came out. They are a little snug, but they literally fit like a glove. They literally fit like a glove. I have not washed them yet. I'm probably hurting some of your hearts by not I'm not going to wash these properly. I'm just going to throw them with my normal laundry. So I'm probably hurting some of your hearts, but they're really cute right now. They're really cute. I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm sure they'll be fine. But yeah, they came out adorable. So this was my first pair of socks. Isn't that wild? It's my first pair of socks. Oh, this is a moment. This is a moment. I'm really happy. Sorry, I'm still picking hair off. I better stop. So I did finish the socks. And that is as far as I got with any crochet the last couple months. So even though I haven't updated, I still got some stuff done. I believe in my last Flosstube, I did talk about picking up knitting. I think I did. So in this time, I have completed not one, but 2 beanies. 2 beanies. This one kind of stretches weird. It's supposed to be slotchy. It's a slotchy beanie. It's a slouchy beanie, but I love the the stripes on it. I love the knitted effect. It was really quick to stitch this one up. This one was my first one. I know there's a lot of little mistakes on it, but it looks really adorable on my oldest. On me, it's a little tight. I probably should have gone up a size on the needles, but it fits my oldest daughter perfectly. So this is probably going to be for her once the colder months come around. No one's going to notice. No one's going to notice the mistakes. This one too is okay. It kind of fits funny. I have to play with it. But I felt like I needed one more project to work on to like practice, because I had decided with my community here on Twitch, I wanted to start a bralette cowl, and I wanted to make sure I knew how to knit properly before I started the bralette, because I really wanted it to look cute, right? I wanted it to actually be something I would wear, and I did it. I did it. Look how cute it is. Is this the front? Yeah, that's the front. This is so cute. It's adorable. I can't. This is an amazing pattern. I want to make more. I did buy more yarn, so I will be making another one. I definitely would love to make the ribbing longer to make it a little more crop toppy sized. But otherwise, I liked everything else about it. It fits really nicely. I am smaller chested, so I don't need too much support on it. So it really is just like a literal bralette for me. I have to get comfortable wearing it, unless I just wear it around the house. But it's really comfortable. I'm not gonna lie. I'd rather just walk around the house with this on. But I can't do that every day because, you know, I do go outside sometimes. It's probably not a good idea. But I love it. It's adorable. I'm going to make more. I'm going to play with the ribbing size and the dip. The thing. What is this called? The cleavage shape. I want to raise that maybe a little bit. Yeah, the cleavage something or other. I might raise that. Neckline. Thank you, Beck. Neckline. I want to raise the neckline probably just a little bit. I did stop a little short, and I still love it, but I think it would be a little more appropriate for my personal comfort to raise it just a little bit, just because things are a little different up here these days. But yeah, I would definitely love to make another one. I will make another one. So this was another start and finish for me. I started this in July and I finished it in July, so I didn't even take... Did we start? No, we started in June. The 19th we did a cast on party, and then I finished it at a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So I have worn it twice already, and like I said, it's the most comfortable thing ever. So I'm really happy with it. I'm excited that I'm getting the hang of knitting, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I'm excited to do another one, and then maybe I'll move on to some other projects. Maybe a sweater or something. I would love a sweater. I love sweaters. Besides cardigans and shrugs and stuff, I really love sweaters. I don't know, I think a lot of people can tell that by now. But I do love sweaters. I love sweaters a lot. Sweaters and hoodies and all the cozy clothes. Next on the list is, of course, all my diamond painting progress. I know it's not a fiber art, but I have nowhere else to put this stuff like usual, so I always like to just add it in here as well. Plus, I mean, cross stitching is very similar to diamond painting. They're essentially the same thing, just different materials that you're working with, essentially, but same concept. So that's why I have it here. But I think the last time I did an update, I was working on this one. This one is Nefertiti by Mandy Manzano, and it's a Diamond Art Club diamond painting. And I have been working on this slowly. So if I didn't show this last time, then you'll see all this new progress. But if I did, I think I might have only had the first row done, I think. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. But this is where I am now. This is where I am now. This is tiny. This is tiny. So it's very quick for me to finish 2 sections. In a normal time, it would take me to do like a larger one. I did make the squares a little smaller than I usually work with, which is kind of nice. I might do this more often with smaller squares. But she be stunning. She is gorgeous. She also has the specialty drills, so she's got like one here, but I know there's more down below. I just have her rolled up right now because I have her on a new easel that I bought, so I can have it sitting upright because it's really bad on my back to like lean over like this. So when it's propped up, it's a little easier to diamond paint. But I've been having a lot of fun with this. It's still slow going because I have been working on a lot of other things. But when I do work on this, I get quite a bit done. So actually, this is the first time this has happened, but I lost drills. I lost drills and I don't know what happened to them. And I think this is literally the only spot. Oh no, there's a little bit down here. But there's a color, so I'm going to have to email DAC to see if they can send me a new pack. I have to check my stash. And if I don't have it, I'll email DAC, but I did lose a color. I don't know where I put it. So these little spots here are blank. This is the last thing I worked on just the other day. But yeah, I'm really happy with this one. She's super vibrant. She's super vibrant. There is 2 ABs in this, I believe. There's like a yellow and, or maybe it's just one. It's like a yellow white, but it does have three types of specialty drills. So it's really fun. It's really fun. It's small. It's gonna be real quick if I just sit and focus on it. So I've been loving this a lot. She's so pretty. She's so pretty. So that is this one. Like I said, I don't remember where I was at last time. That might be all new progress, to be honest. All right, the second diamond painting I kind of gave into. I know I said with Zodiac stuff, I always hate Capricorn. But DAC came out with a whole collection of Zodiac Witch diamond paintings by Roy Trin. I believe that's how you say his last name, Roy Trin. And he had a whole collection. I've followed him on Instagram for a very long time. He does tons of different pieces. He's done the princesses. He's done gods and all kinds of things. But he did create this collection. So Diamond Art Club did pick him up. And I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist because I actually do love this artist very much. And although Capricorn wasn't my favorite one, like I said, it was limited edition, and impulse buying is a bitch. Sorry, I shouldn't say that on YouTube. Impulse buying is catches you off guard. Catches you off guard. So I have started this. I've been working on it. There is a ton of pink in this. There is a ton of pink in this. Where is it? Here it is. So I've picked it up here and there. I picked it up. This is where I'm at right now. I'm just working on pink at the moment. As you can see, I do have it cut off because I feel like there's way more background than there is for the witch, which I should probably just show you this because I have not showed this yet. This is actually new. I know I have not showed this because I just started this. But this is her. She is beautiful. She's stunning. It does say Capricorn at the bottom. I'm thinking if you wanted to buy one of the witches just because you love the witch, you can definitely cover up the name at the bottom, because this is a square painting. So you're not going to see a lot of that background color like you would with a round. Um, so that's just a tip in case you saw one of the witches and you were like, I want to have that one, but I'm not a Pisces or a Libra or whatever. You can definitely cover that up. But yeah, I didn't want to do that, so I'm definitely gonna do the Capricorn on it. But yeah, it has so much pink background that I was like, this is unnecessary. So I'm gonna cut this off when I frame it, outside of these borders here, and it does actually shrink the picture a lot. So I can find a better. It's easier to find a frame in the size that I'm cutting it down to than like this actual like big thing. Because look, even at the bottom, look how much is left there. I'm going to cut all that off. All this is not going to be here. It's going to be like that. So, so I've been working on it. I am working on this with with someone else in the community as well. They bought the same one, Capricorn, but I know quite a few people who have bought one of the witches. But yeah, that pink is killer, yo. That pink is not fun. It is kind of fun. It's color blocking. So, I mean, it's mindless placing, but, I'm going to try and do as much as this pink up here as I can before I start working on her. So it's a little something to keep me motivated to get to the fun stuff. But I do pick this up, and it does go pretty quick. I just haven't worked on it too much. This shows for probably how many days I worked on it. 3, 4, maybe not even 5. Probably 4 days at the most. And yeah, I've gotten at least one section done each session for the most part. So yeah, so this is Capricorn. Love it. DAC, of course, you know, there's never anything bad I'm going to say about DAC because they're my favorite. They're my favorite. I think we know that by now, but they're my favorite. So this will be a work in progress for a hot minute. There are some diamond painting events coming up. I'm going to try and join some of them. See if I can get some, at least Nefertiti done, because she's so small, and that might be a good motivator to do it because you win prizes and whatnot and when you finish them. So we'll see if I have time to enter in that. But yeah, those are the 2 diamond paintings I have going right now. I know Halloween is coming up, so I do still have my Halloween kitty from Puffy Gator, Distracted by Diamonds. I've only done the top row, so this will probably be coming out the closer we get to September. But yeah, this is another whip of mine that's been on the back burner for a bit. I think it's probably the only other Halloween piece that I have. I don't think I have very many Halloween diamond paintings, or like on the spookier side, I guess I should say. I'd have to go look, but I'm pretty sure this is the only like in your face like Halloween. So this will definitely be coming up in September, October time that I'll start working on it again. It is a square. It's not too big. I forget the size, like 20 by 18 or something like that. 20 by 19. But it's super cute. It's super cute with the little pumpkin faces. So yeah, so that will be coming out as far as diamond paintings go. Otherwise, if I were to give any haul, the only bit of haul that I've really been buying lately, besides that cross-stitch fabric and some of the flosses that I needed to start those new cross-stitch projects, and then the 2 patterns, most of the stuff I've been buying is for knitting. So I did buy, from Knit Picks, I did buy the, what are these, size 6-7 interchangeable needles. This is Majestic and Nickel set to try out. I realized I didn't like the long ones, so I ended up buying, of course, the bigger pack of the shorts from 4 to 10. So I really enjoyed working with the shorts better, so I have this now. I realized at some point that I did need separate needles. I forget what you call it. So I bought some of those. Oh, that's it. That's it. I think I have another one somewhere, to be honest, though. I think I got another one somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe not. I did buy some of these. I did buy some of those. I didn't know if I needed the size, so I bought one of these. And I thought I might have needed a smaller size on the bralette, so I bought a small size. Let's just say I dove into the craft. Otherwise, the few yarns that I did buy was, of course, the purple for the beanie. I did buy the green for the other beanie. I had to buy another skein for my socks, which, speaking of sock yarn, I also have purple and blue, so I had to buy an extra skein of this for depending if I want to make another pair of socks. I did buy 2 skeins of the yarn for my bralette, so I have a whole skein here that I don't know what I want to use for yet. I might make shorts. That was an idea to go with my bralette, and I thought that would be really cute. So I might do that. Hopefully I have enough. This is a 100-gram skein. I have a tag. I have a tag somewhere. I have a tag. I do have a tag. This was from an Etsy store. It's called Goblins. It's a DK weight. It is 100 grams. I don't know if you can see that. My camera's not going to focus. Of course not. Why would it do that? There you go. Something like that. So it is 100 grams, so it is quite a bit of yarn. So I will attempt to make shorts, I think. We'll see. Otherwise, I did go on a Mother's Day shopping spree. So I still have this yarn in like my absolute favorite color ever. This is my favorite color, I'm not gonna lie. This is my favorite color, rose gold, essentially. I don't know what to make with it. I impulse bought because I couldn't stop loving on the color. So we'll see what I make with this. I'm not sure. It's in a stash. I did buy this yarn because it reminds me of a cabin in the woods with a hulking lumberjack by a campfire, whittling wood by the fire. Yeah. Totally not an impulse buy. And I think that was I think I bought another yarn, but I don't know where it's at. So I did buy a few things, but mostly on the knitting crochet side more than anything else. So that's basically my haul. Oh, nope, I lied. It is still knitting crochet though. I did have to buy thread marker, or yeah, markers, stitch markers. But while I was there, I went to the clearance section to browse the jewelry, because some of the little jewelry I was able to make into stitch markers as well, because I have a giant bag of these jump rings. So I was able to pick up a whole bunch of different little charms. I know my camera's not the best with this, but I had a whole bunch of little charms. So I just made quite a few little stitch markers because I needed them, and buying stitch markers is expensive. So if I can make it, I might as well, right? I might as well make it. I'm putting it right in front of my face. It's probably, should I do the YouTube thing? Here we go. That's not helping. That's not helping at all. Anyway, so I made a whole ton of stitch markers. And they definitely helped out. Especially that bralette, I used like 9 of them, and I needed them all. So that was a fun little day project to do. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Hopefully, if this goes over well, then I will probably continue to do my floss tubes like this. Oh, is there any shout outs that I want to do? I'm trying to think if there's anyone new who's on YouTube. The only person I can think of to shout out would probably be CasaStitches here on Twitch, because not only is she doing cross stitch, which now she started a few different whips. She's got like 3 whips now, because we enabled her to start more than one. But she also picked up her first diamond painting. So now she's diamond painting as well, and it's a diamond art club. So I would definitely recommend coming to check out CasaStitches. She also does trophy hunting and plays games. But there is part of the week where she does do crafts. I have not been watching Flosstube. I've been mostly just keeping up with my usual people, which is Hannah Dowling and Crafty Gaming Jamie, as well as Stitching Goddess Designs, and of course Rachel Ray. Are the usual Flosstubes that I try to keep up on when I have some time, when I'm not watching everybody on Twitch, pretty much. Because at this point, it's just like hanging out with my friends. So if someone's on, they're a friend of mine, and I'm just going to hang out with them. So yeah, for shoutouts, probably that would be it. But Casa she's very new to all the crafts, and she's been doing really, she's been doing them pretty consistently. So would definitely give her a check out. Go check her out. I think that's basically it for today. I hopefully caught everything. If not, hopefully I'll do this next month. Like I said, I'm gonna see how well this goes over, combining both the stream and the Flosstube. To me, this makes it easier for me, essentially. And yeah, I'd love to keep it like this, but I don't know how well it'll go over. So I guess we'll see how it goes. But if not, hopefully I will be on time next month. Hopefully it'll be 1 month of progress and not 3. But you can definitely find me here on Twitch if you are interested in coming to hang out with me. We have a lot of fun. I do mostly crafting through the week, and then I do play games here and there, but crafting is definitely the majority of time. But hopefully I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye!